Seniors, just one daily habit to restore muscle strength like you're 40. Again, as we journey through life, a profound and often unseen physiological shift begins to take hold in our bodies, typically commencing in our early 30s, the insidious onset of sarcopenia, or age-related muscle decline, a condition that silently strips millions of their fundamental strength, boundless energy, and cherished independence, gradually accelerating to the point where, by our 60s, the rate of muscle loss can tragically double each year, transforming once effortless activities like climbing a flight of stairs into daunting challenges, decelerating our metabolism to a frustrating crawl, and rendering everyday tasks unexpectedly exhausting, thereby diminishing the very quality of life we strive to maintain. Yet, in a revelation that stands to redefine our understanding of aging and human potential, both legendary icon Arnold Schwarzenegger and pioneering top scientists emphatically declare that this decline is far from an inevitable decree of fate. Instead, they contend that the vast majority of individuals are not failing to build and maintain muscle because of inherent laziness or lack of effort, but rather due to a widespread misunderstanding of the fundamental principles of muscle physiology and an adherence to outdated or misinformed practices as they unveil, through decades of dedicated research and personal experience, the profound truth that building real, lasting muscle is not merely about stimulating a temporary pump or a fleeting rush of blood during a workout, but a deeply integrated process involving meticulous attention to several key, scientifically backed habits, a comprehensive blueprint for reclaiming strength, vitality, and youthful vigor at any age, regardless of how long one may have felt trapped in the downward spiral of age-related decline. And in this groundbreaking discourse, we meticulously deconstruct 5 such pivotal, science-backed habits that Arnold himself diligently employs to perpetually rebuild his physique and maintain unparalleled strength throughout his life, each one meticulously grounded in rigorous, verifiable research, utterly devoid of ephemeral gimmicks, and remarkably accessible to anyone, irrespective of their current age or fitness level, offering an unparalleled insider's perspective into the true mechanics of muscle mastery, urging you to remain steadfast with us until the very conclusion, because the revelation surrounding habit number 1 addresses a critically common mistake that many individuals unknowingly commit every single day, a pervasive error that effectively and silently shuts down the body's intrinsic muscle-building engine, and merely correcting this singular prevalent oversight holds the transformative power to utterly revolutionize your results, propelling you towards unprecedented gains in strength and muscle mass. The 5th foundational habit, an often overlooked cornerstone of robust muscle development, dictates that we must consciously and consistently eat more protein, especially as we advance in years. For here lies a cardinal truth that bypasses the understanding of most. The magnificent architecture of your muscles is not exclusively forged within the hallowed halls of the gym, but, perhaps even more crucially, it is meticulously constructed and rigorously repaired within the precise confines of your kitchen, underscoring the undeniable reality that while you can, and indeed should, train with unyielding intensity and unwavering dedication, if your hardworking muscles are not adequately supplied with the indispensable raw materials they desperately require, their capacity for growth and recovery will remain tragically stunted, rendering even the most Herculean efforts largely futile. In fact, the pervasive failure to consume an ample quantity of high-quality protein stands as one of the most significant, yet frequently ignored, impediments to progress for countless individuals who find themselves frustratingly stuck on a plateau, even after enduring months of strenuous lifting and committed effort, leading Arnold to sagely liken protein to the essential fuel and intense training to the powerful engine, a perfect analogy demonstrating that an engine, no matter how finely tuned or robust, will inevitably stall, its performance will plummet, its recovery will excruciatingly slow, and all discernible progress will vanish into thin air without the constant, consistent infusion of premium fuel. Furthermore, and this is a critical consideration for the aging population, as we gracefully, or perhaps sometimes less gracefully, traverse the decades, our bodies regrettably become less efficient at metabolizing and utilizing dietary protein, a physiological phenomenon termed anabolic resistance. Meaning that if you are over the age of 50, your daily protein requirements escalate considerably beyond those of a younger individual, demanding an even greater intake to effectively counteract this inherent biological challenge and effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So, the pragmatic question arises, precisely how much protein do you truly need to catalyze optimal growth and combat age-related decline? The unequivocal recommendation, supported by extensive scientific literature, is to aim for a robust intake ranging from 0.6 to a full 1.0 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight each day, meticulously distributing this vital nutrient across 3 to 4 well-structured meals, ensuring that each meal delivers a substantial minimum of 40 grams of protein, particularly if you are above 50 years of age, thereby optimizing the continuous availability of amino acids for muscle repair and synthesis throughout the day. It is imperative to dismiss the antiquated and demonstrably false myth that the human body possesses a finite capacity, purportedly around 30 grams, for protein absorption at any given meal, as cutting-edge research has unequivocally demonstrated that our digestive and physiological systems are remarkably adept at handling significantly larger quantities, efficiently utilizing the amino acids for various bodily functions, including, but not limited to, muscle repair and growth. And while the primary emphasis should always be on whole, natural food sources, the strategic incorporation of high-quality protein powders can indeed serve as an exceptionally convenient and effective tool to help meet these elevated daily protein targets, especially in post-workout scenarios or when whole food options are impractical, though it's crucial to understand they are not magical elixirs, but rather concentrated dietary supplements designed to streamline protein intake. Thus, when selecting a protein powder, prioritize sources that deliver at least 20 to 30 grams of pure protein per serving, ideally with a substantial presence of essential amino acids, including a minimum of 4 grams of branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, particularly leucine, which is a potent activator of the mTOR pathway, the primary signaling mechanism for muscle protein synthesis. Ultimately, if you find your muscles stubbornly refusing to expand, to repair, or to strengthen, it is highly probable that despite your best efforts in the gym, they might simply be in a perpetual state of nutritional starvation. Following closely in significance, the fourth indispensable habit unequivocally asserts that sleep builds muscle too, a concept that might initially seem counterintuitive to those who primarily associate muscle development with the relentless intensity of a gym session, prompting us to critically reevaluate our fundamental assumptions. If you believe muscle is exclusively forged through the grueling strain of a workout, then it is time to think again, for the stark reality is that while the demanding rigors of training undeniably serve to break down muscle fibers, creating the micro-trauma necessary for adaptation, the profound and truly transformative process of muscle rebuilding, repair, and subsequent growth predominantly unfolds during the profound and restorative phases of deep, uninterrupted sleep. Consequently, if you are consistently depriving your body of adequate, high-quality rest, you are, regrettably, engaged in a self-defeating act of sabotaging your hard-earned gains, irrespective of how meticulously clean your diet might be or how ferociously you attack your training sessions, effectively undermining all your diligent efforts. The empirical evidence supporting this assertion is both compelling and irrefutable, as elucidated by a pivotal study that tracked individuals engaged in a fat loss diet. Those participants who, through unfortunate circumstances or poor habits, managed to sleep for a mere 5.5 hours per night, shockingly lost a disproportionate 80% of their precious muscle mass while shedding only 20% fat, a devastating outcome for anyone serious about body composition, whereas their counterparts, who consistently prioritized and achieved 8.5 hours of quality sleep experienced a dramatically different and far more desirable outcome, successfully losing almost all of their excess body fat while simultaneously and quite remarkably gaining lean muscle, vividly illustrating the profound anabolic and body composition benefits of sufficient rest. Furthermore, even a singular night of suboptimal sleep can unleash a cascade of detrimental physiological responses within the body, including a detrimental spike in systemic inflammation, a significant slowdown in crucial recovery processes, and a marked reduction in the vital glycogen stores that your muscles so desperately depend upon to fully recuperate and bounce back stronger for the subsequent training session, inevitably leaving you feeling unusually sore, chronically tired, and demonstrably weaker the following day, thereby severely impeding your performance and progress. Even the indomitable Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, a man renowned for his unparalleled discipline in training, vehemently emphasizes the paramount importance of sleep, exhorting us to protect our sleep with the same unwavering vigilance and strategic intent with which we safeguard our training regimen, recognizing its non-negotiable role in overall physical prowess and recovery. So, how does one practically rectify suboptimal sleep patterns and cultivate truly restorative rest? The prescriptive guidance is clear. Strive diligently to achieve a consistent 7 to 9 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep every single night, establishing a regular sleep-wake schedule even on weekends to synchronize your body's natural circadian rhythm. Make a conscious effort to expose yourself to early morning sunlight, as this natural light exposure signals to your brain to reset its internal clock, enhancing alertness during the day and promoting melatonin production at night. And critically, do not underestimate or ignore the profound role of vitamin D, which, beyond its well-documented benefits for bone health, plays a pivotal and often underappreciated role in regulating your intricate sleep-wake cycle and actively contributes to the natural production of melatonin, the crucial hormone that orchestrates the onset of sleep. Therefore, let us unequivocally dispel the pervasive misconception that sleep is an indulgence reserved for the lazy. Instead, embrace the profound truth that it is an absolutely essential biological imperative, an active and indispensable component of the muscle-building process. And if you harbor serious aspirations of building, preserving, and strengthening your musculature, it is high time to elevate sleep to its rightful place as an integral, non-negotiable pillar within your overarching training plan, treating it with the reverence and strategic planning it unquestionably deserves. Moving on to the third strategic habit, we delve into the intelligent and highly effective utilization of two of the world's most extensively studied, demonstrably trusted, yet frequently misunderstood performance enhancers: caffeine and creatine, urging you to immediately discard any notions of flashy pre-workout concoctions brimming with an inscrutable array of 20 ingredients, many of which are unpronounceable and of questionable efficacy, because these two remarkably simple, scientifically validated compounds, when judiciously employed, possess the singular capacity to unlock genuinely measurable and profoundly impactful gains in strength, power, and muscle mass, representing a streamlined and effective approach to performance enhancement. Let us first consider creatine, a powerhouse supplement that, despite its historic association with elite bodybuilders, is unequivocally beneficial for virtually anyone seeking to enhance physical performance and promote muscle growth. Its primary mechanism of action involves bolstering your muscle's intrinsic capacity to produce more adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which is quite literally the immediate energy currency for all cellular activity, thereby fueling rapid, explosive strength and sustaining high-intensity endurance over progressively longer durations, a biochemical amplification that directly translates into tangible real-world benefits such as the ability to perform more repetitions with a given weight, to lift incrementally heavier loads, to experience dramatically improved recovery times between sets and workouts, and, consequently, to achieve greater overall muscle hypertrophy and strength gains. Furthermore, the benefits of creatine extend remarkably beyond the realm of pure physicality, as accumulating research increasingly demonstrates its profound positive impact on cognitive function, enhancing mental clarity, memory, and reducing mental fatigue, thus providing a holistic boost to both body and mind. For optimal and sustained efficacy, a simple and consistent daily intake of 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate is recommended, a regimen that mercifully eliminates the need for complex loading phases or cyclical consumption strategies, simplifying adherence, and crucially, let us definitively put to rest the tenacious yet thoroughly debunked old myth that creatine somehow damages the kidneys. Countless rigorous scientific studies spanning decades have robustly crushed this misconception, unequivocally demonstrating that creatine, when consumed within recommended dosages, is remarkably safe and poses no threat to kidney health in healthy individuals. Next, we turn our attention to caffeine, a ubiquitous stimulant that, beyond its popular role in awakening the senses, acts as a potent ergogenic aid capable of significantly boosting muscular strength, enhancing endurance capacity, and sharpening mental focus during demanding physical exertion. Its primary mechanism in this context involves blocking the activity of adenosine, a neurotransmitter that signals fatigue to the brain, thereby effectively reducing the perception of effort and allowing you to push harder, sustain intensity for longer periods, and ultimately break through previously perceived limits during your training sessions. Indeed, the most pronounced strength gains attributable to caffeine are often observed in foundational compound lifts such as squats, deadlifts, and bench presses, exercises that recruit large muscle groups and demand significant neuromuscular output. For maximizing these performance-enhancing effects, the recommended intake ranges from 200 to 400 milligrams, an equivalent of approximately 2 to 4 cups of regular brewed coffee, consumed strategically about 30 to 60 minutes prior to commencing your training session, allowing ample time for absorption and peak effect. Conceptually, envision these two compounds as a synergistic duo. Creatine functions as the fundamental architect, meticulously building your underlying physiological foundation by enhancing the intrinsic energy reserves within your muscle cells, while caffeine acts as the dynamic catalyst, igniting your central nervous system and firing up your entire system to overcome acute fatigue and propel you towards new performance thresholds. Together, they represent an incredibly potent and remarkably reliable powerhouse combination. And unlike a multitude of other supplements crowding the market, these two, caffeine and creatine, actually deliver on their promises, providing tangible and consistent benefits without the associated hype or dubious claims. Proceeding to the second crucial habit, which advocates for the discerning selection of FODMAP supplements that actually do something, it is vital to acknowledge the bewildering landscape that confronts anyone stepping into a modern supplement store, where shelves are meticulously lined with an almost overwhelming array of brightly packaged promises, assurances of rapid muscle growth, expedited shredding, or miraculous overnight recovery, a veritable carnival of claims designed to entice and persuade. Yet, beneath this glossy veneer of marketing rhetoric lies an uncomfortable, often inconvenient truth. The vast majority of these elaborate offerings are, regrettably, little more than overhyped fluff, lacking substantive scientific backing and providing negligible, if any, real-world benefits. Therefore, the imperative is to simplify your approach, to strip away all unnecessary fanfare and superfluous ingredients, and to focus with laser-like precision exclusively on those select few supplements that have unequivocally demonstrated their efficacy through rigorous scientific investigation and consistent empirical results. Let us commence by addressing one of the most widely touted yet largely overrated supplements, branched-chain amino acids, or BCAAs. While the term branched-chain amino acids certainly sounds scientifically impressive and sophisticated, implying profound benefits, the Unvarnished reality is that if you are already diligently consuming sufficient quantities of high-quality protein through your regular dietary intake, whether from whole foods or strategically incorporated protein shakes, the addition of isolated BCAAs offers virtually no discernible supplementary benefit for muscle building or recovery. It is crucial to understand that muscle building is, in essence, a complex team sport, a highly intricate biological process that necessitates the synergistic presence and adequate availability of all 20 amino acids, encompassing the 9 essential amino acids that our bodies cannot synthesize, not merely the 3 isolated BCAAs, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, that are often marketed as standalone muscle builders. Attempting to stimulate optimal muscle growth with only BCAAs is akin to fielding a football team with only 3 players, and then expressing bewildered confusion when your team consistently suffers defeat, as the complete amino acid profile is paramount for orchestrating comprehensive muscle protein synthesis. Instead, for genuinely impactful and supportive supplementation, here is a concise list of what truly helps to augment your training and nutritional efforts. Firstly, protein powder, which, as previously emphasized, serves as an exceptionally convenient and highly efficient means to effectively hit your elevated daily protein targets, a role that becomes particularly invaluable in the immediate post-workout window when muscle protein synthesis is acutely sensitive to amino acid availability. When selecting a protein powder, continue to prioritize options that deliver a robust 20 to 30 grams of protein per serving, ideally with a minimum of 4 grams of BCAAs, and specifically ensure a significant concentration of leucine, the primary anabolic trigger. A bonus tip for optimizing quality: wherever feasible, opt for whey. Isolate over whey. Concentrate. The key distinction being that whey isolate undergoes more extensive processing, resulting in a purer product with a higher percentage of protein by weight, typically 90% or more, alongside reduced lactose and fat content, making it a superior choice for many. Secondly, omega-3s, derived predominantly from fish oil, offer a remarkable array of benefits, extending beyond cardiovascular health to play a critical role in muscle preservation, even during periods of rest or reduced activity, actively supporting muscle protein synthesis, and, significantly, exerting potent anti-inflammatory effects that can accelerate recovery and mitigate exercise-induced muscle damage. To harness these maximal benefits, aim for a daily intake of 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of combined EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, the 2 most biologically active forms of omega-3 fatty acids. Thirdly, vitamin D, a nutrient of profound importance, is intimately involved in boosting muscle function, demonstrably enhancing sleep quality, and crucially supporting comprehensive recovery processes. Yet, alarmingly, a vast proportion of the global population is deficient in this vital vitamin, particularly individuals who predominantly train indoors, spend limited time outdoors, or reside in geographical regions with low levels of natural sunlight exposure. It is therefore highly advisable to get your vitamin D levels tested and to aim for serum concentrations consistently above 40 nanograms per milliliter to ensure optimal physiological functioning. It is absolutely imperative to understand that your muscle building and strength gaining routine should never be constructed around supplements. Rather, supplements are precisely what their name implies. They are designed to supplement and enhance an already robust and meticulously constructed nutritional foundation. The quintessential takeaway here is not to cultivate an over-reliance on supplements, but rather to place your primary trust and strategic emphasis on consuming a diet rich in high-quality, natural foods, replete with abundant greens, a diverse assortment of fresh fruits, and truly excellent, complete protein sources. Construct your entire physiological and performance architecture around the 3 pillars of intelligent training, restorative sleep, and superior nutrition, and only then strategically employ the right, proven supplements to intelligently support and further optimize this meticulously built system, because smart supplementation is never about indiscriminately buying more products. It is, fundamentally, about judiciously choosing better and more effective ones. Finally, we arrive at the apex of our strategic framework, the first and arguably most pivotal habit for anyone aspiring to reclaim and restore their youthful strength and muscle mass: train with purpose. For here lies a profound truth that, astonishingly, most people will never have the privilege of hearing or understanding in their entire fitness journey. The single most potent, unequivocally effective, and profoundly transformative method to restore lost muscle mass and rebuild foundational strength as you advance in age is, without any shadow of a doubt, consistent and intelligently programmed resistance training. A modality that researchers at the prestigious Tufts University have boldly and justifiably hailed as the most effective anti-aging medicine ever discovered, underscoring its unparalleled capacity to counteract the multifarious effects of aging on the musculoskeletal system and beyond. Arnold himself encapsulates this philosophy with his powerful mantra, the first set mindset, a psychological and physiological approach that demands showing up for every single workout with an unwavering intensity, an unyielding focus, and an absolute commitment, as if each and every set you undertake is the only one that truly matters, imbued with singular importance and demanding your absolute best effort. A pervasive issue, unfortunately, is that many individuals approach their workouts with a fundamentally flawed methodology. They instinctively pace themselves across multiple sets, conserving energy under the misguided notion that they need to endure the entire session, or they engage in endless, often unfocused repetitions, optimistically hoping to merely feel the burn, mistakenly equating this transient sensation with effective muscle growth. Or, even more erroneously, they chase after the fleeting discomfort of post-workout soreness as their primary indicator of a successful session, rather than pursuing the tangible, quantifiable gains in strength that are the true hallmarks of progress. However, what the rigorous and accumulated body of scientific evidence unequivocally asserts is profoundly different. Muscle truly grows and adapts only when it is sufficiently challenged, when it is pushed beyond its current capacities, and this critical stimulus for growth occurs most potently and effectively during the final, hardest repetitions of each set, those agonizing moments where your muscles are truly pushed to their physiological limits. It is precisely for this reason that every single working set in your training regimen must be intentionally designed to push you right to the very edge of your capabilities, within 1 to 2 repetitions of outright muscular failure, all while meticulously maintaining perfect, controlled form. This targeted intensity is where the magic truly happens, where the critical physiological phenomenon known as mechanical tension is optimally generated within the muscle fibers. And mechanical tension, let us be clear, is the singular, most powerful, and undisputed key trigger for initiating subsequent muscle growth, hypertrophy, and catalyzing robust strength gains. So, what does this profound principle look like when translated into practical, actionable training strategies? Prioritize compound movements above all else. Foundational exercises like squats, deadlifts, rows, and various presses, bench press, overhead press, should form the bedrock of your program, as these multi-joint movements recruit vast amounts of muscle mass simultaneously, generating systemic anabolic signals and leading to greater overall strength and muscle development. Diligently strive to execute every repetition through a full and uncompromised range of motion, stretching the muscle under load and then contracting it forcefully, maintaining meticulous control throughout the entire movement, as this maximizes muscle activation, optimizes flexibility, and promotes joint health. Structure your training so that each major muscle group is targeted 2 to 3 times per week, allowing for adequate stimulus and subsequent recovery, and within that framework, aim to perform between 8 to 14 hard, effective sets per muscle group weekly, emphasizing unequivocally that quality of effort and intensity must always supersede mere quantity of exercises or reps. Make it a non-negotiable habit to rigorously track your lifts, meticulously recording the weights you use, the repetitions you achieve, and the sets you complete, for this data provides invaluable feedback and allows for the implementation of the quintessential principle of progressive overload, the gradual and systematic increase in the demands placed on the neuromuscular system over time, which is, in essence, the undisputed secret to perpetually getting stronger and continuously building muscle. That truly is the magic behind sustainable, long-term progress. And here is what is truly and utterly incredible, a testament to the profound adaptability and resilience of the human body. Even individuals courageously navigating their 70s, 80s, and even 90s have, through the dedicated and purposeful application of resistance training, demonstrably gained back substantial muscle mass that they, and perhaps society, had long presumed was irreversibly gone forever, proving beyond any doubt that chronological age is merely a number, and certainly not a barrier to profound physiological transformation. You are never too old. It is never too late. You simply need access to the correct, intelligently designed plan and the unwavering commitment to execute it. This, precisely, is the meticulously crafted methodology by which genuine super-agers not only maintain but actively enhance their strength and vitality well into their golden years. This, indeed, is the strategic training philosophy that the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger himself adheres to with unwavering discipline, and most importantly, this is the empowering blueprint that you, too, can embrace to seize definitive control over the aging process, one meticulously planned, purposeful workout at a time, transforming your trajectory towards a future of renewed strength and robust health. There you have it, an exhaustive exposition of the 5 seminal habits that Arnold Schwarzenegger ardently swears by, a comprehensive and interconnected system designed not merely to build impressive musculature, but to profoundly restore inherent strength and empower you to decisively reclaim absolute control over the astounding capabilities of your own body, irrespective of your current age. For the cultivation of muscle extends far beyond mere aesthetic appeal. It is fundamentally about igniting boundless energy, preserving treasured independence, cultivating unshakable confidence, and ultimately profoundly elevating your overall quality of life, allowing you to live more fully, more actively, and more vibrantly. Therefore, whether you are embarking on your very first foray into fitness or bravely endeavoring to get back on track after a period of dormancy, we implore you to choose just one of these transformative habits, commence its implementation today with unwavering resolve, and meticulously build upon that singular foundation, for your future self, vibrant and robust, will undoubtedly extend profound gratitude for the invaluable investment you courageously choose to make in your physical and mental well-being this very day, initiating a journey towards sustained strength and vitality.